Flyover State of Film was shot in front of a live studio audience.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Flyover State of Film. If this is your first time here with us, don't worry. This is a bottle episode, so we're not going to dig into the plot lines that we've talked about before. As always, with me, my guys, my boys, my bada bings to my bada boons.
How you doing?
Joe, TJ, and Brian. How's it going, guys?
They call me Little TJ on the corner.
Joey Winebags.
TJ Carbonara.
Boy, thanks for having me, guys. I'm really happy to be here.
Typical Brian with the penne. Pasta penne Brian. So, everybody's talking about this fantastic anniversary. Everybody's just going crazy about an anniversary that's coming up, and that is the Flyover State of Film Pittsburgh reunion extravaganza meeting.
Well, they flew planes over the states today.
The Blue Angels. They celebrated. They did a flyover.
Yeah.
I mean,
come on.
hello.
Who would have thought that our little podcast would be trending on Twitter, and even the Russo brothers wants to throw Endgame in honor of us covering Endgame during our Pittsburgh anniversary.
Right. They listened to our podcast and they were like, "This is worthwhile. When people can go back to the theater, we're going to celebrate this. We're going to put both our masterpieces out."
You're right. These guys traveled a fair amount to talk about
several hours.
A year when it was released. I can't believe it.
One of them traveled 8 hours to sleep 8 hours during our meeting, but he did travel to be there with us. But I find it hilarious that they're like, "Oh, we're gonna re-release it into theaters, so people that are stuck inside their houses are stuck inside a movie theater for 6 hours." It's so fucking stupid.
Shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah. Well, no, they'll leave one space, right? One seat space. That'll be the deal.
Also, I just feel
which means they'll make half as much money because they can't even fill the theaters once they even reopen them.
Also, how many more fucking videos do you have to deal with of fucking theater reactions? We get it. You fucking love the movie. But that didn't happen.
No, we get to see that guy who, "I went and saw it 120 times in the theater." That's just sad. That just means you have nothing going on in your life, my man. That's not cool.
Your credit card debt.
I can't wait for the sad re-review or re-reaction of the trailer. It has to happen eventually, right? Because that's a thing now.
I didn't think there was anything sadder than a trailer reaction, and then I saw a 7-year-old nostalgia reaction to a trailer, I thought I was gonna throw up in my fucking mouth.
That's cool.
Yeah, but it has a leather jacket though. It has a leather jacket though, so it's.
No, I think it's also one of these things that the studio, like Disney, was definitely like, "Hey, Russos, go pimp this around." Like I feel like
even though they own both, they want their homegrown property to be the one that's the top dog. So they got to get this out in the theater, get ahead of Avatar, because Avatar's going to do a re-release before Avatar 2, and they want to get out ahead of that and like widen the gap between them and Avatar and make it so that they have a better chance of holding onto it, even though they own both properties, even though it doesn't matter.
Also, what else are they going to do? They probably hit their peak.
Well, guys,
they
they
definitely
could put out
hit their
fucking
peak.
Black Widow. That's what I'd like to see. Like,
hey, big announcement.
Go ahead.
Since they will be re-releasing this, when this is over, we are gonna start right now. Live tweet. Watch all of the Marvel films. I'm gonna backlog Agents of Field.
Oh, guys, I quit. I quit the podcast.
Yeah, I gotta
Guys,
Oh, wait, hold on. Are we gonna watch Inhumans?
Yeah, it's everything. It's an
okay.
Well,
then I'm back in, guys.
We're gonna watch every piece of MCU content from now to whenever that re-release is.
We're gonna be covering one shots. We're gonna be covering. We're watching Agent Carter. We're gonna
watch trailer spots.
Agent Carter is the only show that's legitimately relevant to the MCU. That actually things and people that exist in the show Agent Carter actually show up in Endgame, and that's the first time it's ever acknowledged, because obviously Peggy Carter, but Jarvis from that show, the actual Jarvis, is in Endgame, and I was like, holy crap! They actually connected the TV universe.
And if you stayed up long enough, you definitely got to see.
And not the other way, not a person from the movie on TV. They did it the way person from TV went to the movie.
But I have to take your word for it because I've never seen that show.
It's actually I'm not gonna lie, I liked Agent Carter.
I heard it was a good show.
It was a fun one. And it was only 2 seasons, so not much of an investment. You can just kind of enjoy it easy breezy and poof.
Is that on Disney Plus, which I no longer pay for because I refuse to give them my at least streaming service?
I have no idea what it's on.
Because one thing that has happened during this time, I don't know if it's newsworthy or not, but Disney Plus has been having more and more movies pop up with unnecessary film edits instead of just their disclaimers, which
I saw one from Lilo and Stitch. I saw one from, obviously everybody was talking about the dumb one from Splash.
Yeah.
Hey man, physical media matters, baby.
Listen.
Is Heavyweights no longer about fat kids?
They actually used the CGI from It 2 to make all the kids in It's Heavyweights skinny.
It's about self-confidence. It's not
they edited it out, ooh, a deli meat. Now it says, ooh, a Twizzler.
So you would say that they're fucking up your childhood movies?
No, I just think it's an integrity thing.
No, but I'm using this as a segue, Joe.
Damn, nobody steps on a segue quite like Joe does, though. I mean, it's really a thing of beauty. Both me and TJ were like, oh, and then Joe was like, oh, what? No.
So TJ, your topic.
It's a good thing that your screen is closed, because I don't want to go into improv with Joe. We can't do that anymore. That dream is dead. You can't yes and. It's not going to do it.
For anyone that watches our show or listens to my Twitter or any exchange I have with people on Twitter.
Wait, you can listen to Twitter?
Yes, you can read and listen to Twitter.
How do you think blind people use Twitter?
Hashtag woke.
Jeez, man. But I love bad movies from the 80s and 90s when I was a kid, but granted, most of them, there are cringeworthy scenes or things that make you go, what the fuck just happened? So I asked the guys, old movies from when you were a kid that had cringeworthy moments. I'll start with mine. I know it's one of Brian's favorites too. Little Monsters. This whole movie has a lot of those moments, but one of them to the T is a preteen boy and obviously an adult monster sneaking into another preteen girl's bedroom and just parading around her room while she's sleeping and stuff like that, which happens in a lot of these 90s movies, early 90s movies. things like that, like Casper, where it's just like a 12-year-old ghost sleeping with a 12-year-old girl, just to have the love story at the end, like things like that.
But I was age appropriate to be hot for Christina Ricci in that movie, so I will not be shamed for that.
Yeah, but it's basically when we go back now as adults.
I couldn't compete with Devon Sawa's Ghost, though.
No one could. That was a beautiful song too at the same time. Jusef, what do you got?
I have a couple, but the one that kind of immediately popped into my head because my wife and I like to rewatch John Hughes movies. And one that I saw when I was a kid was 16 Candles, and I was like, yeah, cool, fuck that drunk kid chick. And now watching it as an adult, I'm like, what the fuck? The boyfriend literally says, she's passed out in my bed right now. I can just fuck her however I want to, but that's not what I want. You can have her. Take her, Michael.
Take this
Michael
property of mine and have your way with her.
Also, I want the soft.
So that is a very cringy moment from a good childhood movie that I kind of enjoy. And then it's kind of implied that they did something in the car, but they didn't go all the way, I guess. But it's okay because he's a nice guy and she likes him now, I think.
Oh no! So yeah, that all the way. They did it. They
did it.
Yeah.
She says, she goes, she's like, did we this? He's like, I think we did, and I think I liked it. He was like, yeah. And she told him like, damn it.
So that one, I think we watched it like maybe 4 or 3 months ago. And both of us went like, as soon as he said like, she's drunk upstairs, I could do whatever the fuck I want. I was like, whoa, John Hughes, can you hit me up with your reasoning right there? Another one I can save it just in case it's somebody else's. Joe, what's up? What's your cringy moment?
Oh, well, I think a lot of them have to do with that, like, sexual assault rape aspect. The big one is Revenge of the Nerds. Yeah. That's, like, the main one. I mean, he just straight up rapes a girl, and then, like, that wins her over.
And again, it's always like they always have the thing of like, it's okay because she ended up liking it.
Yeah.
Like, no, that's not no.
But I mean, oh man, I'm literally blanking on my pick, and I'm sorry. But yeah,
I'll go. You think a little bit longer. I have it queued up. I'll go, and you can take a second, get your shit together.
Thank you.
He did his homework, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, some of us are prepared. No, but part of what brought this up is I was complaining about Chunk and the Truffle Shuffle in Goonies.
Yeah, that's right.
That's some bullshit fat shaming, and also it resonates as a kid who was fat and tried to be funny to compensate for that, and was asked literally to do the Truffle Shuffle and had nicknames like Doughboy that I was like, no, it's cool because it's like, it's just funny, it's just for jokes. So that shit resonates and it sucks, and it's like,
I'm sorry.
Those are supposed to be his friends. The thing with the Goonies is they're all a bunch of, like, it's one of those misfit groups. So they shouldn't then be in their own group picking on each other. That's fucked up. They're already the outcasts of other groups, like.
Oh, I do remember mine.
But
sorry.
That's true too. There's a group, when you're in a group of losers, there's always the biggest loser that all the other losers pick on. To be fair, that's very true.
No, I wanted to mention the whole heroin plot in 3 Men and a Baby.
Oh yeah, like the kind of like subplot of the movie, like the B plot,
that's a kid's movie.
Oh, here's another one like another one like that. Look Who's Talking, when like John Travolta just like steals her kid at one point in the movie and just takes it. Like, I met you once, I took you to the hospital to like get you to have your baby, and he just takes the kid for like a fucking afternoon joyride. Those are just like, what the fuck is kidnapping now?
Yeah,
it's also like when they reboot these type of movies, like you feel like when they do reboot these movies, you forcefully have to like acknowledge the moments and then work your way around them. Like if someone was to reboot 16 Candles, someone's gonna mention a joke towards it, but then way around it.
Oh, guys!
Like, oh, you're drinking too much. No, I'm not.
I think I have the. I think I remember the number one seed that would make. I mean, or a dark horse. Y'all remember the movie Ladybugs?
Oh yeah,
sure. With Rodney Dangerfield. Well, there's a lot of Rodney jokes in it towards little girls, but the big one is the main girl there is a slow motion scene of her at maybe the age of 14 or 15 running and essentially like sports bra in slow motion to like my last. Like it's cringeworthy, and you're like, I want to turn lady.
That sounds terrible. Wait, I have to check that out. That's.
I fucking love that movie.
Oh, Lord, I hated it.
It also stars.
That's
John
awful, terrible. Harrison, we're gonna go watch Ladybugs, guys.
My other pick, and I think I found it because of Google. I'm like, yeah, maybe that was up because I haven't seen it in a while. It's the twist in Ace Ventura, the original one where everybody's like, no homo, bro.
Yeah, I recently watched a video about how a lot of 90s comics don't hold up, and that was one they jumped on too. Was like the whole joke is how gross it is that that's a trans woman, and how like it makes everybody sick, and like he literally strips her in front of like everybody and like humiliates her and shit. So yeah, it's pretty fucked up.
Rayhorn is Finkel. Ihorn is Finkel.
I mean, she's a criminal, but still, she's a human being, for God's sake.
Yeah, she didn't deserve. So I guess that's it, right?
Oh, well, I was
real quick. That's
go along with Joe's.
Yeah, everybody just kind of froze
from his. Any movie that involved peeping, so like Porky's, Animal House. American Pie, yeah. Anything that involved like sneaking and peeking at chicks when they're changing or showering or whatever, I loved as a young teen, of course. But looking back, I'm like, oh, that's all real fuckt up.
Because when you're a teen, you're like, boobies. Yeah. But then you're as an adult, you're like, oh, they're violating their privacy.
It kind of like makes you like then it's like that. Probably gave me the idea to try that shit. I don't think I could ever remember a time I successfully peeped on anyone, but I'm sure as a young teen I would have taken the opportunity had it been presented because I've seen all these movies where it was successful. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and in high school or even in college, you peep down the blouse because that's how people act in movies. It's kind of like the perverse culture we live in because this is a woke podcast and we're just saying that. That's not right, bro.
A bunch of woke bros, guys.
I'm wide awake.
That's not right, bro. So while we're awake, how about we, especially Joe, before he falls asleep, how about we do some shenanigans and shift this conversation to a more fun and mom-approved segment.
I want to peep.
Well, I mean, definitely our movie today had some Italian moms in it, so it doesn't hurt.
What are you talking about?
Forget about it.
Told me. All right, so these are movies summed up by my mother. Guys, I want you. Let me read the full movie, the full like what I want to say, and then you say your name. And
you can say a catchphrase then, like I did the other one. That way, everybody knows you are done. Like, forget about it in the last.
Forget about it. Yeah, I'll say forget about it at the end of it.
When we're all done, forget about it.
And if you fucking cut in before you finish, you get disqualified for that round.
Yeah.
Yes. So,
TJ.
All right. Ready? Let's play. What is my mother describing as a movie?
That name needs some work, guys. I'm not
gonna a lot of Photoshop, and I kind of.
That was like a Conan bit whenever they did like a segment and just like a long sentence.
All right, movies described by my mother. All right, the one with the British black guy who plays a politician. They want him to be Bond. I don't know. Forget about it.
Jusef.
Yes.
Fuck.
TJ.
Yeah.
I know who it is, but I don't remember the name of the movie now.
The Manchurian Candidate.
Damn it.
No, Idris Elba's not in the Manchurian Candidate.
No.
Is he in the Ides of March?
I'll give you guys one real politician.
Yeah, I know who it is, but I can't fucking remember.
All right, so no points.
Malcolm X.
Boo.
Nah, no points. It's Mandela.
Mandela, motherfucker.
Elba.
It was a one word.
I knew Idris Elba, but I didn't know he was played Mandela.
All right, we're still Still in it.
Right. Question
Racist.
2. That movie with the guy from The Mask, he's a real kook. You know, the one, the brain goes and everything. It was odd. I don't know. I don't really like it. Forget about it.
Jusef.
Yes.
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Yes. So let me start that.
I like your mom.
Me too.
I didn't think your mom would watch the number 23 either. So.
That would have been a funny one.
You're so mighty.
All right. So, I like this one.
No, sorry. No.
Stop it. It's like Hitch.
Stop it. Start
You
again.
gotta catch up. Let yourself catch up.
My good is this.
You're good.
Back now. For now.
Right. Oh, I like this one with the horse face girl. It's like Hitch, but reverse of Hitch. You know the one. Forget about it. Yes.
Failure to lunch.
Yes.
Who's going to lunch?
So many horse face girls. I was really having a hard time.
It's only one.
I thought it was Renee Zellweger.
Those whack.
Alright, Jessica Parker.
Oh, wow,
All right.
Anna Kendrick exists.
Oh my god.
What about Hilary Swank?
Oh, you're right, but there's enough. All right, this is enough. The wacky guys from SNL go to a disco.
Jusef.
Forget about it.
Oh,
that?
bullshit.
Or no,
Use
no,
this
I was
spot.
right.
So keeps jumping the gun.
Fuck me.
Boo.
Oh, I'm eliminated.
Twice. Did it now. Boo.
TJ.
I'm gonna pause. Yes, TJ.
No, the Roxbury.
Yes.
It's
That's not,
easy.
I didn't say forget about it too early enough. All right. This movie, it won a bunch of Emmys or something. They're gay, black. I don't know. Your father didn't like it. You know him. Forget about it.
Jusef.
Brian.
Gotta be Moonlight, right?
Yeah.
Damn it. I feel like we all said it at the exact same time.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm back in this thing.
Yeah, baby. It's 2. So it's 2 and tied at 1.
Woo.
Should be 3. Fuck.
The one with that cute guy who gets AIDS. Not gay. I know, right? Forget about it.
TJ.
TJ.
Philadelphia?
Nah.
Oh, he's gay.
Dallas
I
Buyers
never,
Club.
I never saw
Yeah,
it.
Jusef, you got it.
What was it?
Dallas Buyers Club.
Oh, okay. I never saw either.
Okay, next one. Ooh, that was scary with all the demonic talk, and the little boy scared me. I think Uncle Jude took us to see it back in the day. Forget about it.
TJ.
Yes.
Jusef.
The Omen?
Yes.
Nice.
All right.
Uncle June.
Uncle June.
What happened? What happened to Halle Berry? I thought she was Catwoman. Forget about it.
TJ.
Yeah. TJ.
Oh, The Dark Knight Rises.
Yep.
You'd think your mom would be more of a Michelle Pfeiffer person, though.
It's more of so the relevance. Like 2004 to 2012 are like all of the same kind of, like, that's still new.
That's fair. That's fair.
All right. So I hope one of you guys get this one. There's nothing wrong with the little Asian stereotyping in fat suits. This movie should have gotten more Golden Globes. It's a better broadcast. Forget about it.
Can you say it again?
Yeah. I fully.
Yeah. I kind of got stuck on Asian stereotypes and I didn't hear the rest.
All right. There's nothing wrong with the little Asian stereotyping in fat suits. This movie should have gotten more Golden Globes or whatever awards you call it. It's a better broadcast anyway. Forget
He's
about
not
it.
wrong about the Globes, though.
Yeah, everybody's drunk. Fat suits stereotypes. Asian stereotypes.
For fans of fine cinema.
Is this what you were just joking about?
No, there's no ways mom would have seen that one yet.
Yeah, I don't know.
TJ.
Yeah.
Shallow Hal.
No.
Okay. I don't know if there was an Asian stereotype. I just missed that. Don't remember. Fat suit, yes.
Brian, you want to try?
Jusef.
Jusef, yeah.
Tropic Thunder.
Nope.
Are we talking about Enter the Fat Dragon?
Nope. We're talking about Norbit.
Oh God.
Oh
Norbit.
yeah! Wow.
I never saw it in Orbit. I famously don't like Eddie Murphy. So.
But it's weird that he said that. Now I remember the Asian part in that movie.
At the time, that was the offensive part of that movie.
Jesus.
All right. So, 2 more questions. For the first time ever in the history of Flyover State of Film, we're tied 3-3. Brian sitting at 1 point.
Oh man, I'm way out.
I can't read, Mom.
I don't relate to Mom.
I know. He's supposed to be what you call it, a visionary. But space, bookshelves, corn, I didn't get it. Your father sucked through the whole thing.
Oh, Jusef didn't wait again.
Jusef's disqualified because you got to forget about it.
Jesus Christ! Why do I have the one name stuck in my? Oh, Interstellar. I almost said Inception.
You didn't say your name.
TJ.
Brian, Interstellar. I'm a point stealer.
Fuck.
I'm playing spoiler, baby.
All right.
Yes.
All right,
Brian,
guys.
tie it up.
You're
Brian,
gonna
you
tie
can
it
tie
up.
it.
Then I'm gonna have to
Everybody's
think of a tiebreaker question. Ugh. Okay. It's a shame this caused Brad and Jen's divorce. Could you imagine? God forbid. Forget about it.
TJ.
TJ.
Fuck. Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Yeah. We have a winner. TJ.
TJ winner.
TJ speaks. TJ
Julie
speaks my
didn't
mother.
pick me because he didn't want to think of another question. He knew I was about to tie it up.
Hey, man, I heard TJ first.
Shenanigans.
Play the tape. Steph, Brian, tell us.
It's good. People are going to know in the comments. Both of our viewers are going to know.
All right, Brian and Stephanie, comment down below. I fucked it up. I should have won, but I kept jumping the gun. Brian, hit us with your topic.
Oh, well, you guys heard me mention Enter the Fat Dragon, and if anybody hadn't been on Twitter the last day or so, they might not have seen, Donnie Yen has a terrible comedy action movie where he's in a fat suit, acting like Bruce Lee. It's likely a remake of the Sammo Hung 1978 Sammo Hung movie. The main difference being Sammo Hung was an actual overweight martial artist who was awesome, and fat suit comedy sucks ass and is horseshit. Yeah. So I was thinking, since I love Donnie Yen so much, and since this sucks so bad, what is a project that your favorite star was been in that is like embarrassing to you? That you're like, why did you sink so low? Why would you do this? This sucks so bad. Why did you think this was a good idea? So, anyway, we got one to start.
Yeah, I do.
Joe, you're into it?
First, I'd like
to he's a Nicolas Cage fan, so it can't be that hard to come up with.
No, there's 2 things that I'm taking out of this equation. I'm taking Nicolas Cage out of this equation. I don't think that's fair.
I agree.
Just because of the career he has. And then I'm also
the man takes risks, you know?
Yeah. And then I'm also taking off the movie 43, because that whole movie is too many people and it's too cringeworthy.
It's all people who were basically tricked into being in a terrible movie.
Yeah. They were blackmailed into it, yeah.
So you like Jackson.
I thought about this.
It does have one really funny stuff.
It made me dig deep in, and it's Robert De Niro in Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Yeah, all right.
Oh, wow.
Well, that is a shame he was ever in that fucking movie.
Grudge Match?
No, because at that point in De Niro's career, he was already, like, in Grudge Match, he was just taking paycheck after paycheck after paycheck. Like, Rocky and Bullwinkle, he, like, method acted that movie.
Yeah, he's like the boss of Boris and Natasha or something, right?
No, he's Boris. He's the leader.
He's like their leader. That's what I thought, yeah.
It's like that, and then, like, I think of, like, I don't think anyone's going to have this, I'll just say it. It's like Al Pacino doing the Dunkachino and Jack and Jill. Sure. But now I recently found out that he wrote all of his lines and, like, also method acted Jack and Jill, so I kind of respect that now.
Put in the work.
I saw a tweet the other day. They were like, the greatest time I've ever had was helping Al Pacino write lines and workshopping his role in Jack and Jill, and he was the nicest human being to ever do it. Like, and I was like, that's a great story.
But I don't think I've ever. I think I remember watching Rocky and Bullwinkle as a kid because I used to be like a fan of the cartoons because Cartoon Network would play like the old Hanna-Barbera cartoons and all that shit. But I honestly have like zero memory from that movie. Like it's just like
watching it. It was Nickelodeon that played when I was a kid, but I used to watch it. But I was like, I had aged out by the time the movie came out. I was already too old.
I remember going to the movie theater and seeing it.
Great point.
Kind of.
It's a great point, man.
Joe, and I'm here to say I got a shitty mic in a major way.
I mean, he has a tracksuit and everything. TJ, what about you? What's your disappointing? No, Brian. This is.
Oh, you're gonna come at me now?
TJ.
Well, I feel like with a lot of the actors we're all gonna choose, it's like a point in their careers they just took a fucking dive. For my actor, I don't feel like a lot of these people, like you're saying, like De Niro has to take a paycheck. He didn't have to take a paycheck. He just took a paycheck. Take a paycheck. These guys already made their bajillions before this even started. Same with my guy, Robin Williams. He's my favorite actor. I cried when he passed, but then when I went back and looked at his IMDb,
I haven't really watched a fucking movie from him, and you keep picking movies about ginger kids that can't act. Go ahead. Sorry, I'm interrupting you.
I feel like you just need to leave ginger kids out of this. But like anything after 2006, Robin Williams did, specifically with RV. It's one of those fucking movies where like
JoJo.
He didn't. Yeah, there was a Nickelodeon, I think, like produced movie too at the same time. I don't know how much they fucking gave him. It must have been a fucking shitload for them to get
Isn't
Robin
Cheryl Hines the wife in that?
Yeah, exactly.
He also did, and I don't want to step on TJ. I think at the same time, he also did a movie called Old Dogs with John Travolta.
Yes.
And I think that might take the edge, but they're neck and neck.
Oh, yeah, well, this one's like, it's like you have Barry Sonnenfeld, who did Men in Black, who has a decent, like,
track record.
So, with him. And then you just throw this in there, and then it's literally just a giant poop joke of a movie where you have him playing a debilitated Chevy Chase character from fucking...
Right, you can't do it better than National Lampoon Vacation. Exactly. People keep trying, it ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, right? But also, I think the why it sucks so hard is because it ain't Robin Williams. Like, the energy and the essence of Robin Williams, like, you can see it, like, him, like, even... He looks like he's suffering trying to do this shitty character.
He's just playing like the Phil Hartman dad character, you know what I mean? He's not even being Robin Williams. He's just like, oh, I'm just a dad.
Yeah, License to Wed was really a real bummer.
Everything after this, he just kind of like...
But even License to Wed has those, like, moments where he like escapes, like he does something Robin Williams. RV, I don't even remember a moment where he goes like, I'm still fucking Robin Williams.
Mine is March of the Penguins and not National Treasure, Night of the Museum. He just kind of just for no reason. He never would have to. He doesn't need the paychecks. He just kind of just did it to do it. I guess just do the art.
Well, I think he kind of did with all his divorce and
Can I have an honorable mention of a movie I just remembered? And I don't want to say it's like,
hey man, Brian and I haven't said ours.
All right, we're
so
making
greedy,
already
man.
Into honorable mentions over here. This guy's just
greedy, man. You and your Shane and your pinky ring. You think you're better than me?
Hey,
you think you're better than me?
Italian.
You coming to my podcast? You talk to me like this?
You think you're better than me?
I just want to have a word with you.
I'm gonna go, Joe.
All right, man.
Then Brian, and then you can have your honorable.
That's fair.
My pick, actually, I don't think fits into like your categories because both of you picked like a star that had like an amazing career.
Yeah.
Then under shitty, and they did shitty shit. Mine is kind of a mix because he is a comedian. He has taken risks, and he has shitty movies. But this one is in the context. This one is in the context of the year it came out, and the movies that came out in that year and the prior films, and that is John C. Reilly in Holmes and Watson.
Yes.
That because he did the Sister Brothers, he did the Stanley and Ollie, he did he's done a shit ton of good movies. He did The Lobster.
Should he count in an upcoming teaser bracket that we're doing? Because I feel like he's got a lot of great roles like that.
I think he's like edged out of character. Yeah, he's ascended. I feel like he's a little.
Okay. I think
there's definitely a time, like, if we were making this round when Gangs of New York came out, he would have been on here.
Hey guys, fun fact, he was nominated.
That was a great fun fact, man. That's
he was in 4
the funnest of facts.
He was in 4 of the 5 nominated movies the year Gangs of New York came out. Fuck off.
Perfect.
I love it. One of our reoccurring bits is just bad connection.
Joe's gonna slam him soon.
Dude, but Holmes and Watson is so goddamn bad. Like, I can't imagine an actor of his caliber, comedic caliber and dramatic caliber, just reading that script, even if it's just for his best friends or closest friend, which is Will Ferrell. Like, the script is so goddamn bad, and he just said yes to this shitty, like, dude, like, you can't imagine how shitty it is until you watch it, because the trailer looks shitty, and you're like, well, maybe there's some moments in there, like, it's Will Ferrell.
Like, these guys were in Step Brothers, come on.
Maybe it's Get Hard, you know?
When did their like comedic duo thing start? Was it with Step Brothers or Talladega Nights? I don't know.
Talladega Nights was first, I think. Yeah.
And then
Step Brothers first.
No, it's Talladega Nights.
He didn't do semi-pro. He didn't do semi-pro with John C. Reilly though, right?
No.
And then he didn't do. Now there was something else that came out after that they didn't do together, and then all of a sudden they were like, "Hey, remember when we did Step Brothers ago? Let's do Holmes and Watson." You're like, everyone's like, "Yes."
Holmes and Watson.
I was never like yes because I'm sick of fucking Sherlock Holmes. Like, who the hell decided that we needed 8 different versions of Sherlock Holmes in the last 5 years?
Well, good for you. Luckily for you, there's gonna be a female.
Yes,
Sherlock
I know.
Holmes
11 is going to be the little sister of Sherlock Holmes. Thank goodness. Also, you get to see Henry Cavill trying to pretend like he's from the Victorian era, even though he's busting out of his fucking suits and he's shaped like a goddamn triangle.
I was going to say, also, period piece, like slapstick, is like so hard to pull off. It rarely will ever fucking work.
Yeah.
Like, you're not Monty Python and the Holy Grail. It's not gonna fucking work.
I mean, yeah, it's already been done, and I think that one hasn't aged great, but it's still one of my favorites. I'll never put it in this fucking podcast and waste it on you assholes. Ryan, what's up with you?
Thanks, DJ.
I went straight to the well. I looked at the IMDb of my boy Harrison Ford. There's a lot of movies on there that other people would consider embarrassments that I give a pass to. Some probably would say recently Call of the Wild with the CGI dog, maybe not great.
Can you do me a
Some
favor?
people,
one of these out?
Made a big joke out of Hollywood Homicide. I think that movie's a lot of fun. But I'll tell you a movie I didn't abide, and I never even bothered to see it because the trailers were so fucking bad. It was a little movie called Morning Glory. It starred Rachel McAdams as like the frazzled PA on a morning talk show, and Harrison Ford is like the gruff anchor, and there's a female lead, and I'm sorry I'm blanking on who it is, but like
sexist.
Patrick Wilson.
Rachel McAdams has to kind of like run interference between the two of them, and it was so fucking bad. Like I said, embarrassing was the word that came to mind. It just was like beneath Harrison Ford's caliber. It should have been,
What's
Brian? Brian, I've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
It's the movie you're thinking it is.
I thought so.
But I will say this, because I remember when it was released, it was at a time when Harrison Ford was even like this big gap, and it was like a movie like, you're like, shit, that's Harrison Ford. I haven't seen his face in 5 years.
Yeah, he would do like Firewall, and then 3 years, and then Morning Glory, and then the next thing was like fucking Force Awakens.
Wait. Was this his? I mean, obviously you won't know off the top of his head, but was this like his first rom com since like Sabrina? Because I know
I
Sabrina was received fairly well, and
kind
I
of.
kind of enjoy it.
I mean,
So
it's
was
a
he like
full.
returning to his rom com roots?
That's a
I
full
can't
decade.
think of what any like rom coms they did around that time.
Yeah.
Aside from that,
But Morning Glory, since I'm the only one who's seen it, is not so much either a rom com anyway. It's a weird like
it's like a workplace comedy, right?
it's a workplace comedy that has that like dramedy in it, and it's really like mundane. If I remember
Is
the
it
cast,
kind of a little bit Devil Wears Prada ish? Does it
it's
have that
trying
vibe to it?
it's trying to pick up Devil Wears Prada, but it doesn't have any of its charm.
Oh, Drew's gonna get so mad.
It doesn't have any of the charm.
Yeah, that's what I said. It doesn't have any of this stuff.
Why didn't you pick
Got you.
Mr. Brooks? Oh wait, no,
But-
that's not.
but-
Harrison Ford.
I would say I think it's
Do you-
I
Patrick
love
Wilson.
Mr. Brooks. First of all,
I think
that's
it's Patrick
awesome.
Wilson and Diane Keaton.
Diane Keaton. Okay, there you go.
Joe, baby Joe, what's your honorable mention?
Oh, so I guess this would be also a disappointment, but I'm always embarrassed that these two were in it because they're at their peak of comedy. It's the movie Envy with Jack Black and Ben Stiller.
Oh, I think I've seen that one. Yeah, they're neighbors, right?
Vaporize, yeah, they were neighbors, and then like they
Who's
both
in it?
come up
Adam
and
Sandler's not
mention
in
that.
that.
No, it
Ben
said
Stiller.
Ben Stiller.
Ben Stiller, yes. I don't know what I said. I thought you said
and
Adam Sandler.
I remember like because I was at the age when it was like right after School of Rock, and like I was like 12 or 13. It was like this is gonna be the funniest movie I've ever seen. Those guys are hysterical, and it was embarrassingly bad.
Yeah, it was boring.
It's boring, but it's yeah.
Do you think if you went back and watched it now with your adult eyes, do you think they were trying to do more of like a dark comedy thing, and maybe it just wasn't your vibe at the time? Do you think maybe there's redeeming value there?
It could be. You're probably not wrong. I would revisit it to try that.
I mean, Cable Guy wasn't received great.
Right, because I think about movies like that all the time that like maybe I just wasn't in the right mindset to watch or didn't understand that type of comedy at the time I watched it or something.
Yeah.
You know, it's just one of those things where it's like the movie might be trash. I'm just wondering, like, is that it could be one of those things because it's far enough back in the past now.
I don't know.
We're at the point they were at in their career, I could see them like taking some chances and stuff.
I don't know because the whole plot was about dog shit that disappeared.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
Which is a metaphor for the movie.
So talking about dog shit that disappears, how about we talk about Moonstruck?
Hey guys, more like moons suck.
Forget about it. Movie. So on the last episode, even if you didn't watch it, I did a movie game, which everybody loved. And the winner was Brian. Brian had secretly a movie assigned to him. I was stuck in Nicolas Cage world due to Joe's amazing bracket that he did. Go to his Twitter if you haven't seen it. And I wanted to see one of the movies that are considered prestige from his repertoire. And Moonstruck was the one that fell into that bucket. 6 Academy Award nominations, 3 Academy Award wins, including Best Actress for Cher. Before everybody shits on Cher.
Fatal Attraction.
Yes, I agree. But before everybody shits on Cher, I wanted to shout out a YouTube channel called Be Kind Rewind, which focuses on women winning awards. And she does a great episode about Cher and why she actually won, even though I agree that Glenn Close should have won it. So to give
what are
you
they called?
What
was it called?
Be Kind Rewind. That's the YouTube channel. So she's an amazing, like she really does dig into the past history and the political play that Hollywood does to get awards. Basically, awards.
She sounds like a cool broad.
She's a cool broad. Forget about it. So I'll give you
a good
a
wife
brief
as long as she listens to her man. You know what I'm saying? Hey.
Oh, it's my hand.
Yay!
So I'll give you a brief synopsis of the movie. I enjoyed this movie. It's not my favorite. I will go to defend this movie like I wanted to defend Brazil or Harold Mud. But I do have fun with this movie. I find it hilarious. It has some antic elements to it. So story basically is Cher. She lives with her parents. She's 30-something plus, a widow, and she is in a relationship that you can call she's settled for. He's a nice fellow, and he has to go to Italy because his mom is dying. Everybody here is Italian. Even the the dogs that are walked by the old man are Italian. Don't worry about it. Everybody's Italian. Forget about it. So he leaves and he gives her one task, and that's it. That's to invite his younger brother that he hasn't spoken to in 5 years because of an incident that occurred. She meets the younger brother, which is played by Nicolas Cage, a baker with one hand. They fall in love due to the spell of the big ass moon over New York City, and shit happens. In between that, we have the side plots of dad cheating on the mom, and the mom basically asking him to stop, and the uncle falling in love with his bride in the store and fucking, and then everybody's happy. Pretty much. It's pretty. Oh, and we also have the great late John from Cheers, and he's just hitting on two young women. He is always getting drinks spilled.
You mean from Frasier, John Mahoney.
Yeah, from Frasier. Sorry.
You said Cheers. I don't think you ever Cheers.
I'm sorry. I apologize. But that's it. That's it. So this is my second viewing of this movie. I believe
Same.
Joe already seen it. I want to hear TJ since this is your first, then Brian, then Joe, and then we can just everybody talk. TJ, what did you think? Your first experience with Moonstruck?
This entire movie is about adultery. It's all about cheating. It's all about not loving who you're with right now and just being with somebody else at the same time you're with somebody at the same time. Hey man,
don't forget about getting horny because of the moon.
and then saying, take out your anger on me.
When the moon hits the sky,
with the big pizza pie. Also, not everyone in New York's last name sounds like a pasta dish. This whole movie is just like, hey, this is Joey Carbonara, and this is fucking Joey Franchetta, and this is Joey Penne Pasta, and you're like, oh god damn it, I fucking get it. You guys are all fucking related at some point.
Italian.
Hey, we're super guineas.
Yeah.
Super guineas.
So, we want to do a disclaimer. Joe is Italian. He's going to provide all the Italian slangs that we can't say. So just in case you want to cancel this podcast.
Say it.
Which is weird because his last name, I thought he was like Slovakian or something.
Oh, I'm Slovak. Say it. Say it. Say it.
Well, just say it.
Just say it.
So, TJ, did you like? Obviously, we're gonna go into ratings and we're gonna talk about this entire movie. But overall, did you walk away with an okay experience, or were you pissed that I picked this movie?
No, I mean, listen. Every time you pick a movie, I go, I swear to God, Jusef is about 65 fucking years old with the things you pick. It's like, oh, I get it at this point. So for the first,
wait. I'm gonna hit a timeout here. Timeout, technical foul.
Yeah.
In the previous season, sorry, I know I said this is a bottle episode and we're not going to talk about the past plot points, but previous season, I was accused of picking easy choices of movies that everybody likes. And now I'm a 65-year-old asshole that was street cred prestige. You gotta pick a lane. You gotta pick a lane with me.
Now, I don't think it's not a bad movie at all. It's boring. I don't think it's a love story. There's nothing about love in this movie whatsoever. There's a lot of settling. There's a lot of settling even when it comes to the end between the best character of the movie and the worst character of the movie, which we'll get into. I'll give you this. Cher's fucking stunning throughout this film. I don't know what it is about her, but even when
she looks great at the beginning, when she's not supposed to look great, when she's just like normal, she's
but also
dynamite. She's dynamite.
Yeah, I let her have a little gray in her hair.
I think even better. I think it's like that, like the Italian New York attitude she has.
That was the stage she should have kept her nose at.
Yeah.
Damn.
Then once you got to like that I give you the best part of the movie is the last 10 minutes at the breakfast dinner table.
Yeah.
Like that's the best part. So like when that started and like, oh, this is Ronnie, this is Johnny's brother, and they start throwing all the fucking names around, and it's like, and everyone's just like, oh, okay, you want some oatmeal? Like that's when I'm like, okay, I get it. Also, too late, but I get it in the fucking film.
I want to talk about that scene later, but first, famously, Brian is a man's man. He has big balls and he has calluses on his hands, and he doesn't like rom-coms.
He doesn't like any of his
Yeah.
No, it's true. I mean, I'll admit to my bias against rom-coms, but also, in my defense, this movie is like a loose collection of toxic relationship tropes and Italian stereotypes loosely strewn together. It's maybe based on an opera? I don't know.
Hey! Put the fucking pasta on. What are you talking about, Italian stereotypes? I said I want it al dente.
I carbo loaded for this podcast, and
I also ate a pasta dinner today too. So this
I'm sorry.
This movie did have an effect on us subconsciously or not. We all felt
what you're saying. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Very authentic Italians in this movie. I was not a fan of this movie. I was a fan of the first 10 or 15 minutes where you learn about Cher and you're like into Cher, and then I'm watching this with my wife and both of us immediately fell off when Nick Cage beats his chest and displays some toxic masculinity and then instantly they go to bed together. It was like everything they had told us about this kind of self-assured, knows her business woman instantly flew out the window, and she became this horned up and I know that her character is supposed to be a little superstitious and a little lovelorn, and maybe she gave up on love too soon and now she's experiencing something she hasn't experienced. I understand it, but you can't spend your opening scenes building a person and showing me something and then throw all that away. Maybe you could do that if you were doing a television show for a couple of years and you had time to ease in, but people don't act like that, and I don't like it. I don't like when a character I was liking does something dumb like that.
Well, but I disagree with you that people don't act dumb. It's literally the world is filled with dumb people.
I guess that's fair. And people act against their own self-interest too. You're right.
And people are not one-dimensional. And she did try. And she did try
doesn't mean I have to like it.
No, that's fine. And she did try to regain her I'm a woman when she was all right, it was a one-night stand. Get the fuck out of here. I'm done with you. But then the romance starts to kick in, and he's
because Nick Cage puts on a tuxedo in which everybody looks awesome, and he combs his fucking hair, and all of a sudden it's I'm in love.
I didn't realize how fucked
go
up.
Go to see La Boheme, and I don't know what La Boheme.
That's a great. I wanted to make that joke, TJ. His teeth are so fucked up in this movie.
He's missing a whole row.
He really did invest in a good set of teeth. At least he has a good set of teeth now and a fake hair. So he says fake teeth and fake hair, and he's gonna have a great career for the rest of his life. But yeah, that was one of the most distracting things.
People felt like his before. I think when you picked this last time, someone said that this is one of his crazy roles where he kind of gets that out. I don't think he was that.
Only the very beginning. Only the very first scene in the bakery.
His eccentric acting shines through, comes through on that. Definitely his choices, but it does not stand if you don't put it into I don't think it deserves to be in the Cage pantheon, even also, of that early.
We didn't talk about the stupid reason him and Dan Aiello haven't talked for 5 years, which is that.
Well, I wanted to wait before we say that. I wanted to say the stupid reason why people think she's cursed, and then the stupid reason why they're not speaking. So everybody thinks she's cursed because her husband died. Yeah. So she cannot marry again because her husband died once.
She's got it rationalized that they had bad luck because of all these, because they didn't have a traditional wedding. Yeah. They went to the courthouse and everything, and so she's got it in her mind.
Everything about superstition
is that they had bad luck, and if she does it the right way, and then she proceeds to do everything the wrong way again.
Before we accept this stereotype of the 80s, and I mentioned it to the guys, like this.
I can't believe this was like an awards darling in the 80s. That blows my mind.
I
mean, that's how
watching this movie, and I'm like, they were dying to give this awards, really? Like
6
singer turned actor.
It won best screenplay.
I don't get that.
So Joe, is you and your family superstitious?
No, I am. My dad is, but he's not Italian, so no, that doesn't affect the Italian side. No,
your family Italian? No, my dad is. Are you and your family superstitious?
No, it's like
I am, and my dad.
And that's another thing. If you just want to talk about like even the Italianness of it is how they're like Nick Cage's family and Daniela's family are like so Italian that the mother, they're like they're first generation Italian Americans basically. Not even because their mother's still fucking in Italy.
I think she went back. She's
like back in time. Danny Aiello went back to like the 1800s to visit his mom. She's like
they could have gone to a small village in Italy.
No,
very small village in the outskirts of Italy.
But they didn't say that. This is Palermo, which is like a city, though. Yeah. Like Palermo's not a small village.
Yeah. But what doesn't make sense about it is they wouldn't be in like that culture. They would not be disconnected like that.
No.
There would be no bad relationship.
Hey man, did you lose a hand? Did you lose a wife? Did you lose your happiness? Did you lose your life?
Also, very unreasonable reasons to not talk to your brother for 5 years.
Also, maybe your wife, who your fiance of Nick Cage's, didn't love you. You were in an accident.
Yeah, and also he didn't lose a hand. He lost 2 fingers.
He wears a prosthetic that's like the full 4 fingers in the thumb. I mean, he lost a lot.
He lost a lot, though. I found him fun. Like, I found, like, it's weird.
I liked his prosthetics. Prosthetic was dope.
This movie, it looked like Freddy Krueger's hand at first.
He looked awesome when he was in his tux and he had the black glove on it. I like that.
Yeah.
A lot of this movie, to me, is, like, really fun, strong characters, except for Danny Aiello. And just, like...
He was, like, he was very wimpish.
Well, I messaged you guys, and I was like, "Is every like older? Would anyone have like a love interest of an old like a man where they all looking old? Where they always?
I mean,
old like 40-year-olds.
I love how John Mahoney's supposed to be the young hip guy in this movie. He's like 60
like he's
old.
Like Danielle is supposed to be 40, and he looks just as old as the father.
Yeah.
Cosmo. I love the fucking.
I like how
Nona.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about the mother. Like she's one of the best
characters.
The mother,
best character in the movie for sure. Also has like the shittiest resolution though. Like I hate the whole ending. The kind of like I can't call it a confrontation. It's a non-frontation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
nothing
is really actually resolved. That relationship is fucked. Like
I wanted to talk about that. And the first time I saw that movie, that rung false to me, that confrontation. And then when I was visiting my grandparents in Puerto Rico, my grandmother was sitting with us because my grandfather lost his mind, so he's like he doesn't remember shit. But she basically told the story. It was basically that. Like she sat him down.
Yeah.
It's like he was like, "Stop it.
Stop fucking around."
It's like, all right.
I do know.
I thought you weren't paying attention.
I do know a lot of like families like that. Where they're just like, but I'm just like, this whole movie is about just that one stroke of love, the Moonstruck, and then at the very end, the mom just like, well, I know I got cheated on last night. This whole movie, you've all known that. I almost cheated on last night. She almost cheated on him. She had that second thought going up the stairs. Sure.
Right, get that revenge fucking going.
Get that John Dick.
That's the whole movie, though. At this point, you're just like, is the whole movie.
I will say, I do like when a movie And actually, it's funny because they do this on Frasier too. I appreciate it because of how rare it is that like a movie or a television show deals with adultery in a way that like it's not a career, like because there are couples that get past that. There's couples that live their lives, and that's just like a part of their relationship that happened, and they had to decide if they were going to struggle through it or whatever. And it's just something you don't see all the time. I just wish it would have. It didn't feel very impactful for me. You know, I wanted to see that. But also, I mean, it can be argued that when you're dealing with a couple that's been together that long, a lot of it is done with looks and small gestures.
I don't know,
Who knows?
man.
But
I think
it rang a little false for me this time. That
Can I just?
And I agree with you, Brian. But I want Joe, you can want to say I think she was handicapped by the limited acting ability of the dad. I feel like he was very one note. It was very one note throughout this entire fucking movie. But
I never really seen that guy before. I don't really know him from anything.
If they would have paired her with somebody else, I bet that they could have squeezed.
They should have just had Danny Aiello play the dad, and then had a guy who was almost as handsome as Nick Cage, but just boring, play the brother, play the Danny Aiello part.
As long as Nick Cage
would have been
Alec Baldwin would have been a good Danny Aiello part.
Yeah, the guy that guy in a rom-com who's fine, who actually does the James Marsden. The guy who's fine, he's just not the true love, you know.
So the ending to me, like actually a lot of beats in the story. This movie is so rushed. Like the ending itself is so like, all right, well, I just felt we need to wrap this up. So the husband, the fiance is going to come in. He's going to be like, can't marry you, but, you know, we're going to make a joke of it. And, like,
and then the fact that it rolls right into the proposal. And then all of a sudden, Danny Aiello is just fine with it. And he's just like, oh, I'm just happy. Even though I was just with my mother and with my real family. Yeah. Now, all of a sudden, I feel like I need to be part of this family. And it's like something that I was missing. I don't know. That, again, like, that doesn't track for me. It's like.
And he even gives her the ring. Like, the ring.
I'm gonna need that back.
And Lord knows I didn't want this movie to be any longer, but I could have used a beat there to like do something. I don't know what it would have been.
I mean, one could argue that they could have cut out even though I liked them, they were cute, the brother and his wife storyline, and then just like dig a little bit deeper into
what they should have done is have the dad and his affair. Have the confrontation with the mom earlier, and then have him get moonstruck and reconnect with the mom, and like kind of combine those two stories and give me like a little. Then you'd have a solid A and B plot,
you know what?
An A and like a half a B and half a C.
You know what? That works really well with that dinner scene they had, where the dad actually gets mad that the brother's bringing up like, oh, you used to hang outside her window when the moon was up. If they switched that up and had him fucking do that at the beginning, and then had that dinner end, and then had the scene between instead of the brother,
the dad with a boombox outside in the moon.
What's one? Two things. What is one thing you did like? One scene you did like about this movie.
Oh, me?
I do want to just in general. Like for me, I like the scene. I really love the dinner scene. With the mother and the guy and like the juxtaposition.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, that any young, and when he's proposing, the acting by John Mahoney, like his bitterness but trying to be happy for them, like I just literally got a drink thrown in my face, and he's like, erase her memory from here, and then a guy over there is proposing marriage.
Give me a glass of vodka.
Maybe I'm biased because of Frasier, but he was great in this movie. Yeah.
Like I did enjoy this movie, and I see a ton of flaws in this movie. Like I think the antidote to this movie, like if you're trying to like counteract this movie, it's go watch My Big Fat Greek Wedding. You're gonna want to feel all the feelings you think you're feeling while watching.
I've never seen that
while
movie.
Talking about,
but that's Greek, man. What are you doing?
No, it's the same.
Talking about Italians.
No, but man, it's the same cut. It's like the
same vibe for sure.
Like an old Italian woman would be like, my favorite movie is Moonstruck, but they're really talking about when they went to go see My Big Fat Greek Wedding 20 years ago. Like I just feel like it's the same. It's the feelings I thought I had towards Moonstruck were actually My Big Fat Greek Wedding. Very different movies, but they're the same. Like it's the antidote to this movie. That's my. heady thought.
You know what I will give you? My favorite part of this movie is the tension building during the opera.
Yeah, you stole mine. You stole mine. Yeah.
Yeah, with that whole like scene where like, oh, you think it's like this just generic like date night thing, then all of a sudden you see the dad.
Sure looked good in that dress, the hair and everything. Whoo, man, come on.
And also, at the same time, she knows she's going into that. I mean, I guess they want you to think that she thinks she's going into that, knowing it's nothing, but in her head, she's going to get her hair done, she's going to get her nails done, she's going to get done by the end of the night. Yeah. But she's supposed to fight it, obviously. Yeah. She doesn't. But that whole, like, thing where, like, the dad just comes out of nowhere with that. Because I'm like, where are they going with this whole, like, dad cheating thing? Other than the mom knowing, and also I'm like, here we go. And she's like, Pop? And he's just like, I didn't see you here. And she's like, I don't know if I saw you here. And he just walks away. He just leaves. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, it's her facing the betrayal of her dad cheating, but also the hypocrisy of her feeling betrayed while she's also cheating out on him.
Yeah.
So there is something there, but again, I agree, it's very uneven storytelling, and it could have been better, but I still have fun with it. It's kind of stupid, the movie. How about you, Brian? What is your like favorite scene?
I actually really love, it's kind of right near the beginning, which is when I was enjoying the character the most, because I was like, yes, I like this character. Strong, independent woman. She doesn't need this shit. She's doing this. She's very practical. But I love when the mom asks her the first time, do you love him? And she's like, no. She just instantly like, she's like, it doesn't even, of course not. I like him, and he's stable, and he's a nice guy, and he'll treat me right. But no, I don't fucking love him. Like I just love that she was so quick to come back with it. There was no hesitation.
Well, that was the one I was going to do, but I was going to combine it with the end. When, obviously she's like, no. And she's like, oh, well, all right, you can marry him. That's fine. Because when you love him, that's when you're fucked.
Yeah.
And then in the end, she asks, do you love him? And she's like, yeah. She's like, oh, that sucks. Like, she's like, instantly, the mom replies, like, you're fucked if you're really going to marry him for love.
The first thing I Googled after finishing this movie was it a stage play? Because this just seems like a stage play.
Oh, yeah.
It's not, but it does.
It does feel like that.
You know what?
It's got limited enough settings. You could do it as a stage play pretty easily.
Yeah.
Another question that I had while we were watching it, and this could be like my last thought, and we can wrap it up, is like, do people still have like dad openly out in the open affairs? Like the dad took her to an opera, took her to restaurants. She was driving around in town where he lives.
You gotta imagine some people do, right?
He's
like, don't know.
Well, you know. Okay, I can answer this for you from my personal experience. Yes, let's get real sad.
We just pulled a scab on old TJ's childhood here. I think.
One of the parts that rang super true to me, because I saw it fucking my fucking own eyes, is the opera part where she's like, "You didn't say a thing about my dress." He's like, "Yeah, it's really bright." It's like everyone's looking at you right now and looking at us. Just a heads up.
Brian.
I gotta go, guys. I gotta go.
As our older historian, was Witches of Eastwick before this movie or after?
Yes, before. No. Well, no? It's in the same year.
Are they the same year? Okay, I thought it was sure.
Yeah, she put in the work. If you watch that video, she put in the work that year. So let's go into the ratings phase. Brian, where are you going with?
Guys, I mean, I'm gonna give this like a 3. It's just doesn't really do much for me. I don't like rom-coms, and I didn't like this as a movie or as a rom-com. So sorry. I think this along with another recent movie I watched, which was LA Confidential, will go on my list of stolen Oscars. And but hey, that's okay. Not every movie has to be for me. And yeah, sure, Jusef's got me dreading his picks worse than TJ's lately, but we'll see where we go next time, right?
Hey baby, I'm in the same boat with you. TJ, where did you go with this
I actually like rom-coms. Notebook is one of my favorite movies of all time. But I didn't hate it. I wish it was a little bit shorter, a little bit tighter. I want to give it a clean 6 mangled hands. Just a clean 6 mangled hands.
How about you, Joe?
I'm a little higher.
Ooh.
I want to give it a 6.9.
Man.
Because of the
That's
heavy
almost a
sex,
7,
because of the heavy sex breaths.
Oh, that was actually a good part. I was worried my volume.
6.9 heavy sex breaths. I really enjoyed it. It's no 13 going on 30, which we all know is the pinnacle of rom-com.
I thought you were gonna say
Just keep naming
Lighthouse.
bad movies. This is like a list of bad movies.
I'm gonna go with 6.5 table flips
Ooh,
out of 10. It's super
because when a
flawed.
man shows you he's got an aggressive, violent temper, the
call my
first thing you
wife.
should do is jump
Call
in
my
bed.
wife. I've been married for a long time, and that's the only way I get sex anymore is flipping a table.
Flip that table.
God, you have a bigger table budget than the Bills Mafia.
Hey man, they're cheap in Walmart. Just $20. It's flawed. It's fine. It's an okay movie. I really just wanted to pick a rom-com to fuck with you guys. Next episode, TJ, our baby boy TJ, has
Finally,
his
some
pick.
relief. I get some
Our
relief.
little bird.
What are you gonna make us watch before Brian fucks us over?
This is the last time I'm going to play this game because I'm going to think of something better for next time. But I'm also going to pull Brian on this one. I'm going to make you guys watch an extra thing on top of this movie.
You're an asshole, then.
So
that's good. That's good.
I'm basing this around the Pentagon and everything that's dropped recently about the UFOs. Aliens exist, guys. We knew
UFOs
this
exist. We don't have any confirmation of aliens.
Okay.
Aliens exist and wizards exist too on Twitter.
So I have
sad wizards.
2, 3, 4, 5 movies based all around aliens.
Ooh, Cowboy versus Aliens.
Ranging from there's no Mac and Me and there's no Howard the Duck. So take those out of the equation. So I have 5 movies ranging from 10% to 95%.
Damn.
Okay. On Rotten Tomatoes.
Got some good ones.
You have a rival.
Okay.
You have a rival.
I have a rival.
Yeah.
It is not.
95%. I'm just thinking of a great.
Yeah, there's 95% in there. So, or there's not 95% in there, but there's something ranging in between. But so we'll start off with Joe. Give me a number, baby.
64.
Ryan, give me a number, baby.
69.
Jusef, give me a number, baby.
34.
Joe, back to you, my guy.
46.
Woo! Brian, go.
I'm going to go up. Let's say 78.
All right, so Brian is the winner. I'm actually pretty happy.
As always, guys.
I won the last one. I don't know if it's always.
Yeah. I know I was close with the 40s because you were like getting.
Okay, so I'll give you the options that weren't picked: Alien vs Predator, Requiem, 12%.
Ooh, there's a DVD bunker about that.
Cowboys and Aliens, which Jusef I think mentioned, 44%. Attack the Block, 90%. And Explorers, 77%. Since Brian picked 78, we are going to watch Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Yeah!
I've never seen it. That's awesome.
Me neither.
That's beautiful. And then at the same time, I want everyone to go on YouTube. There's 1 hour-long movie that I watched as a kid. It's from like 1985. It's called The McPherson Tapes. It's supposed to be like the first found footage horror movie that was supposed to be like this. Everyone thought it was real, but then it turns out to be fake. So it's an hour long. It's called The McPherson Tapes on YouTube. And then we're going to watch Killer Clowns from Outer Space, which is the first watch for Joe and Brian.
All right, where can the people find you, everybody? Joe.
You can find me at Chendago1 on Twitter, just having fun with these guys most of the times.
TJ.
You guys are on Flyover State of Film YouTube. You guys find me at TJ Dex on Twitter. Also, check out our latest episode, 47, that just dropped of this show. And then also our flybys. There's a couple of them. Jusef and Joe have one. We're working on a couple other ones. We got a bracket coming up soon this week also. So guys, stay tuned.
Brian.
Oh, you can find me at Hercules on Twitter. Go check out, go on YouTube and find that DVD Bunker episode about AVP Requiem, though. It's a good one. I went long on that one. I went hard in the paint. I really stood up for AVP Requiem. I stand by it. I fucking stand by it.
There you go. From on out, put anything that he says on the weight of him defending Alien versus Predator Requiem. Wild boys! Bye!
Bye.
Bye.